Hi there. My name is Margot Steinlage, and today I am going to discuss three things with you: Medicare, Medicare supplements, and Medicare Advantage plans. Now, you found my website most likely because you are either turning 65 or you're retiring. Hopefully, somebody sent you this link or you found it organically online. Either way, you are needing some information, and my goal today is to clear up any confusion that you may have. Again, today I'm going to touch on three things. What is Medicare? How do the Medicare Part A and Part B parts work with all the other plans out there? Second, I'm going to touch on Medicare supplements, the pros and cons to Medicare supplements, how the Part D plans play into Medicare supplements, and then last, I'm going to discuss Medicare Advantage plans. Very briefly, I will discuss the Medicare Advantage plans. I will have a separate video that goes in detail, in depth, with Medicare Advantage plans. So stay tuned for that, and by all means, feel free to call me wherever you are. You can always reach me. My number is 314-807-7589. I'd be happy to discuss any of these topics further in detail with you. Okay, so let's get started on Original Medicare. What is Original Medicare? What does it cover? How much does it cost? So when you turn 65, you can either choose to sign up for Part A and Part B, or you can defer picking up Medicare. Take a look at my frequently asked questions on the website for the ins and outs of when or why you would choose to defer. But for the most part, let's say that most people choose Part A and Part B when they are turning 65 or when they are finally retiring. So Part A and Part B are the two moving parts of Medicare, Original Medicare. Part A is your hospital and Part B is your medical. Part A, hospital, is free if you worked 40 quarters or more throughout your lifetime. So it's about 10 years of full-time work. You paid federal income tax, and now you get the Part A of Medicare for free. Part B of Medicare is the medical portion. Part B medical insurance costs you $134 per month. Now, if you are a high earner, you'll see that you are getting hit with what's called IRMA, Income Related Modified Adjusted Amount. This is a tax that anybody who earns over $70,000 as an individual, or if you are filing jointly with a partner or a spouse, you will get hit with IRMA if your income is above $170,000. Now, these are 2018 rates, so take that in mind. But for the most part, the majority of individuals will pay $134 per month for that Part B medical portion of Original Medicare. So Part A and Part B, and your cost is $134 for Original Medicare. Now, Medicare will cover roughly 80% of the bill. And these are very broad numbers, but for your sake, I'm going to keep it simple on the video. It can get pretty complicated, but for the most part, 80% is what Medicare will cover. So that leaves you as the patient with a 20% risk or a 20% exposure. There's no cap on this exposure. So if you go in and you have an open heart surgery and a knee replacement in the same year, you're hitting, let's say, $100,000 worth of medical bills. Original Medicare will cover 80% of those medical bills. So if you have $100,000 in medical bills for the year, Medicare will cover 80% or $80,000. You're left with 20% or $20,000 that you have to pay. You're responsible for that. So that's the gap in Medicare, is this large 20% exposure that's not covered by Medicare. There's no cap or ceiling. So to fill those gaps in Medicare, there's two different routes you can take. You can take either a Medicare supplement route with a standalone prescription drug plan, or you can take a Medicare Advantage, also known as Part C, and that's the other route. You can't choose both. You can't double dip. If you go the Medicare Advantage route, you can't also carry a Medicare supplement and standalone drug plan. If you go the Medicare supplement route, you can't also carry a Medicare Advantage plan. So the big choice after you choose to enroll in Part A and Part B of Medicare when you turn 65, the next choice is which route do you want to go? Do you want to go the Medicare Advantage route, or do you want to go the Medicare supplement route with the standalone Part D plan? So my next topic that I want to jump into is Medicare supplements. And I want to go over the Medicare supplement pros and cons. And then after I discuss that, I'm going to go into how Medicare Advantage plans work and the pros and cons to that. Just to give you a good view of which product you feel will work best with you and your specific medical needs. So, again, original Medicare covering 80%, two moving parts, Part A and Part B. To fill that 20% gap, you can go into a Medicare supplement. This is supplemental. It's secondary. It pays after Medicare pays its 80%. So your supplement will cover the 20% risk that you're exposed to, that 20% gap. Now, within the states and within the different supplements, you have a range of plans. Within supplements, you have Plan F, Plan G, Plan N, and a few others. Right now, the most popular plan is Plan G. And I wrote a blog post on Plan F versus Plan G, so go ahead and take a look at that after the video. But for the most part, Plan G, I would say 80 to 90% of my clients who go the Medicare supplement route are choosing this policy because it's the most economical. The average premium for a Plan G, depending on your state and county, is about $110 to $140 per month for a 65-year-old. If you're a little bit older, those rates increase with age. So a Plan G supplement is going to pay after Medicare pays. You simply pay your Part G or your Plan G premium. So you're paying the Part A and Part B premium for original Medicare, which amounts to $134 at 80% coverage. And then you pick up a supplement that will cost you roughly, let's just say $140 per month, and it'll pick up the 20% risk. That Plan G, the only responsibility that you have medically is a Part B deductible, which costs $183 per year. So once you meet that deductible, your supplement is going to come in and fill the gaps of Medicare. So let's use that open heart surgery and knee replacement example, the $100,000. Let's say you have a Medicare Advantage plan or Medicare and a Medicare supplement plan. You go in for the open heart surgery and you have a $183 deductible. So you will be billed, or you'll have to pay up front the $183. After you pay that, your supplement and Medicare are paying 100%. Let's say a few months later you go in for that knee replacement. You've already met your deductible. Medicare and your supplement will pay 100%. Okay? Now, Medicare and your supplement covers hospital and medical. It does not cover prescription drug plans. And this is where the Part D standalone drug plan comes into play. To get prescription drug coverage, you have to buy a third policy. So you have original Medicare and a supplement. And then you buy a third policy, a standalone drug plan. These are state-specific and city-specific. So they're regional. So what I do is I look up your zip code, run all of your current prescriptions, and find the most competitive plan for your specific prescriptions and state. All of these plans range about $17 to $45 per month. If you're on very expensive brand name medications, they're going to be a little bit more on the premium side. So you pay roughly $17 to $45 per month. And then when you go fill your prescriptions, you have copays. So if you choose this route to fill the gaps in Medicare, you have Part A and Part B of original Medicare. That is costing you $134 per month. You have a secondary policy that's picking up the gaps in Medicare. That's your Medicare supplement. That's going to run about $140 per month. And then you have your third policy, prescription drug coverage. That's going to cost about $17 to $40 per month. And that's going to cover your prescriptions. So 3 moving parts if you choose that route. The alternative route, I said there was another one, that's the Medicare Advantage plans. Medicare Advantage plans are a little bit complicated because you don't technically have Medicare covering your medical expenses. What happens is you still pay the Medicare premium for Part B. However, Medicare turns around and outsources their responsibility to a third-party Medicare Advantage plan. Now, these Medicare Advantage plans are being paid by Medicare to manage your care. They are being paid by Medicare to manage your care, so this means you can get a zero premium plan from that Medicare Advantage plan upwards of $50 for the same plan. So your range for a Medicare Advantage plan is roughly $0 to $50 per month. This is a lot lower than the Medicare supplement. However, the Medicare Advantage plans are networked. So if you are out of your state and it's a non-emergency service like a cancer treatment or a knee replacement by a doctor that you just love, you are on the hook for 100% of that bill because you are out of your managed care, your Medicare Advantage plan. You're out of that network. So that's one con to a Medicare Advantage plan, but there's a lot of pros. You have a very low premium. So if you're healthy, these plans are great to save money because you're not paying a high monthly premium for your Advantage plan. Now, you have a very low zero premium plan. So when you use the care, that's when you start paying. Let's say you go in to see your primary or your specialist. You pay $5, $10, $15 for a primary visit. You pay $40, $50, $60 for a specialist. This is set up a lot like your group or employer plan. You do need a referral to see your specialist with certain plans. If you go to the ER, you have a high copay. If you go into the hospital, you have a copay each and every day you're in the hospital. If you use the ambulance, you have a copay. All of your copays that you use or that you pay for services that you use throughout the year, all of those copays are being added up. Once they add up to your maximum out of pocket, now your Medicare Advantage plan will come in and pay 100%. So these Medicare Advantage plans usually cap your medical expenses at anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000. It all depends on the plan that you choose. And then the plans also, the Medicare Advantage plans also include prescription drug coverage within that plan. So you don't have to get a separate drug plan, which is a perk if you're trying to save money. So with the Medicare Advantage plan, you have a very low upfront cost, $0 premium to $30 premium each month. However, on the back end, you start paying when and if you use the care up to your maximum out of pocket. You do have prescription drug coverage, basic dental, vision, and silver sneakers, gym membership. But again, it's all perks to the Medicare Advantage plan, but you're limited on who and where you can go. That's a con or a negative to the plan. A pro to the supplement world, that other path or that other route you could take, is that it is nationwide. There's no network. So with the Medicare supplements, you're paying front end, you pay a high premium, but on the back end, you don't really pay much or anything, and then you can go anywhere. So that's the perk to the supplement, is flexibility and mobility. It really boils down to, what do you want? Do you want mobility and flexibility in your choice of doctors? You don't need referrals. Then the Medicare supplement world is for you. If you want to save money and you don't travel much and you love your current 4 or 5 doctors and you couldn't see yourself going outside of that network, then and you're fairly healthy, your Medicare Advantage plan may be a better option for you. But if you give me a call, that's something I can determine very easily by asking you a few questions. So I hope you guys kind of have a clearer view on Medicare, Medicare supplements, and Medicare Advantage plans. Do check out my blog. Do read some of my articles. They do help clear up the air in the Medicare world and help you maneuver kind of through the whole process. It's not an easy transition. This is why I have a full-time job. So again, reach out to me if you have any questions, email or cell. Thanks, guys.